I'm back with another Deadlock build guide. I'm gonna call it build guide, and I'm actually using my main character here. This is Wraith this time. You see, these are my stats. I'm a Wraith main. I wouldn't call myself a Wraith main. Obviously, it looks like a little bit skewed, right? Wraith main. GG's. All right, so I'm in the sandbox now, and I basically last time I didn't make a build, like a build thing for this, but this time I did because I feel like I play Wraith a bunch, and I wanted to make myself. And I feel like this is easier to follow along, right? Pretty much, Wraith as a character, like the whole thing, you have uptime and downtime on Wraith, right? Like Wraith is one of the characters where it's so obvious what your uptime and downtime is. When your cards are up, you have amazing kill potential. When your cards are down, what are you doing? So basically, like this is like what I go with typically every game. These, and if you want a bit more early damage, you can put in burst there. I didn't put it in the build because I don't think it's necessary. Typically, as Wraith, at least you just want to like live. And if you want to really like punish them as Wraith in the early game, you buy these orange items. Orange items are way stronger early game. Like on every character, I feel like just because you have way more opportunity to do damage to them. There's obviously some like Wraith damage with purple, but that's why I put these here. I put these here so in case you do want to win early game. And these three are here in case you're getting dogged on the lane, right? Typically it's just extra regen healing, right? You can also pick up extra spirit, which has health regen, and sprint boost earlier, which has health regen. But I also had extra health here just because it helps you survive all-ins. You really need to. Like Wraith is all about like getting all your cards up and then going in.
I'll seek out our enemies.
So, and then after that, I have mid lane. Typically, I think these two are interchangeable. I think they're always your first, though, because obviously, earlier in the game, your Gun Wraith. Gun Wraith is way better than Spirit Wraith early in the game. You can try to cheese out some stuff, but typically, you just go Gun Wraith early game. That's why I have this. So, the easiest build path is this into this. I have these as counters. I didn't add reactive barrier here. And I really don't have any space. Maybe I should. So typically then you'll get through your gun. So this is what it'll look like at this point, right? Like it'll look like this, something like this. And you're moderately strong. You can do jungle camps. You can do a bunch of stuff. And then typically you'll want to like do like this almost. Yeah.
Sometimes there's
and then you want to get your 2 points in your full auto. Before you get, they're on the same time almost every game, right? Like mystical vulnerability after you get that, it just procs it so much better. It's like this is so much better after you get this, so you can get it on all your cards instead of like having to proc the first card and then that. And there's also DK I have in here. You don't need DK right away because you're mainly rushing for Shadow Weave. Because Wraith is a character, right? Like think about it. You have a teleport, you have a burst damage with your gun, and you have burst damage with your cards, right? You have a way to guarantee your burst damage hits.
Perfect way to start a fight.
So as Wraith, you want to play around your strength, just like every other character. So you're going Shadow Weave. You just pop up out of nowhere and one shot. It does so much damage. As soon as you get Shadow Weave, you're basically a one-shot character. You just do this. You just put them up, throw your cards. Look at that, 2,000 damage on his head right away. And I'm not even like everything here. And typically, you want to get Endurance Feet around the same time you start moving around the map more. And then as soon as you get like Shadow Weave online, you want to get rapid recharge as soon as possible, just to get extra cards when you ult and throw them. Silence Glyph is really good if you're versing characters like Ivy or Mirage or even like Shiv, characters that can like dash, get away, or like Vindicta. So that when you're coming out of your Shadow Weave, I need to run no cooldown. So when you're coming out of your Shadow Weave, you actually immediately silence them, and by the time they notice you're there, you have them silenced, and then you can just ult them right away. You get all your damage off. And that's another thing about Wraith. Sometimes, like my left click just doesn't want to work. I don't know why that happens sometimes. And then typically Surge of Power, Imbue on 1. I don't know why I didn't put that on the thing, but it's kind of obvious, right? Imbue on 1, Improve Burst, amazing damage increase, especially on your cards. And typically after this, I have these set up in kind of like anything. Like Reverb's really strong for team fighting. Diviner's Kepler's really strong for team fighting, or just like if you're really dying in team fights after you cast ult, it gives you a nice burst of survivability. Life and Bullets is there because why not? something with inhibitor. You mainly want to get like escalating exposure and curse. Curse is so good. So when you get cursed, you want to sell your silence glyph, obviously. Typically, I don't like return fire here, right? There's a lot of bullet damage for some reason. People don't really understand return fire is broken. That's another reason why you don't really want to do bullet wraith. Return fire and metal skin are just so good, and they're not that expensive. They're not out of the way of most builds that you can really get screwed over by someone just building one item, right? And like, what is the point of that? That feels really bad. So like, at least this wraith, right? Even with the item, they do counter a lot of your damage because a lot of your damage is from your gun, right? Like that's a lot. But you can still do a bunch with your cards. So that's the whole point of why you go this build on Wraith, no matter what. Like, I don't see any point if it's in this patch of Gun Wraith being viable. And that's what this is with Damage Wraith. I saw another build earlier that was like some healing, like team biting thing. I don't know anything about that. This is the kind of version I play. This specific version is really good, especially in like non-team games. Non-team games, or specifically like games where you're solo queuing or duo queuing, where you can like run around on the outer lanes and get free picks. What Shadow Weave will eventually do is make the enemy team so scared of you when you're up and off the map that you can basically play like a jungler in League almost. Like your presence threatens every lane, and it really does limit what people can do on the map. And also, Wraith as a character is like, if you really hate someone on the enemy team, you just buy curse, ult them every single time you see them, and they will not have a fun time. I'm telling you, Wraith is one of the most frustrating characters to verse, for like, especially if you get ulted all the time. But Wraith isn't that OP, I don't think either. He definitely has counterplay, right? Like, just buy metal skin, buy ethereal shift. Ethereal shift is really good at countering Wraith, and that's typically why you have to go curse almost. Because if you're ulting someone and you silence them, it silences their abilities, but not their items. And ethereal shift is only 3,000. So I've noticed a lot of Vindictives I verse and a lot of other players who are typically squishy, I'm typically the one ulting them. They almost always build that, and it's so annoying. So you have to get cursed. One of the most must-haves. And the reason I have it so early on the build is because of that, right? Like 3,000 is really cheap for them, where you have to get 6,000 to counter that. It is kind of, I don't know, kind of annoying. It is what it is at the end of the day. And that's my Wraith build guide here. The page, I made it myself. Hypno's actually good Wraith build. This is it. If you would like to, please like and subscribe, and I'm going to show you my last couple games at the end, just to like kind of prove a proof of concept here. Now, as you guys see, we kind of brought it back a little bit today, and I am picking up Paradox a little bit, just trying to learn them. I've been tired of like having to out mechanic them as Mirage when it needs the other characters that don't really need to do that as much. Especially in Furnace, you just build Ricochet, and it's really nice. So, I mean, there's a lot of losses here, and like most of the time, you'll see my damage is keeping up with everyone in the lobby. Even when we get stomped here, we're getting stomped by 60k. I'm still putting in the damage. I bought this at the end of the game of troll, I'm gonna be honest. But you always want, like, this is your core 4 orange items every game. You pick up purples then to do more damage. And then where's my next game? This game. Again, look, most damage. I'm keeping up with like most of their team. It's just unfortunate we got stomped this game. This game, I don't even know how this pocket carried us. Just get carried. But look, I'm still up there. I got cursed this game to help the team out, and I'm just kind of along with the ride, helping out. Most kills always, because this just allows you to get so many kills and so many picks. Like, she's so good for getting a pick and then going mid boss. Even once you get your tier 4 or your tier 3 on your telekinesis upgrade, you're so strong at denying just because you can lift them all up, and if none of them have a way to counter CC, they just lose it automatically. This game, another, like, we get stomped. I don't even know how this wall ever happened, to be honest. I don't even know what the cues were. Oh. But yeah, I tried my best this game. Obviously, I had to buy Ethereal Shift this game. Another thing you can get earlier, and Stamina. I was just getting run down by this guy the entire game, I remember. So yeah, Shadow Weave always, like I said. I got a lot of Wraith losses here recently. Oh, queuing up with the damage. Next one. Look at a win. Oh my god. Wait. What? What happened this game? Anyway. Yeah, this game's an absolute carry, and this is one of the, like, this is one of the key things of the Wraith build. If you like get it down and you can stomp them into the ground, here they have one carry, right? It's this guy. This person's kind of annoying, but they can't really carry. Same with this person. It's just a Infernus doing damage over time. He's gonna have high damage no matter what. But this Shiv was their carry, obviously. He wasn't a knower. He didn't know the tech. He didn't build a ethereal shift, so he just died, right? I have so much money here. I'm so far ahead of everyone else. I literally bought everything. And as Wraith, so much of your damage is in spirit, you might as well just go full spear, right? Boundless, Mystic, Escalating, Surge, Rapid, Curse, Diviners. And I just focused this guy, and you can see from the stats, it worked really well. I was able to carry my team to the victory here. And that's kind of all what this Wraith build is about. You need to systematically build your lead up after you get Shadow Weave, and then just punch them in the mouth later in the team fight with your ult. If you can hit this off on their entire team, you typically will be able to at least kill one of them out of it no matter what, and it still forces them to run away. If you've ever versed a Wraith or seen a Wraith, typically when people ult, they scurry like little monkeys, right? They just run around every direction. They abandon everything. They abandon their team. They abandon their plan. So it's perfect for announcing a little bit of chaos into them in the team fight. And then throughout the chaos, the Wraith thrives. Just like that. Very simple. Very right to it. I'll try to put some gameplay eventually, but for that, that's my this is my Wraith build. I'll see you maybe next time.